Have you ever noticed how some people stay calm around money, while others feel stressed no matter how much they earn? Have you ever wondered why the rich seem to make smart financial choices, even when others make the same amount and still struggle? The truth is not as complicated as people think. Wealth often starts with a different way of thinking, a different set of habits, and a stronger sense of control. In this audiobook, you are going to see how the 1% think about money in a simple and practical way. You will hear about the daily choices that shape financial growth, the discipline that protects money from being wasted, and the mindset that helps people build freedom over time. This is not about luck or empty advice. It is about real thinking that changes real lives. As you listen, you may recognize habits you already have, and you may also see the ones that have been holding you back. That is where change begins. If you are ready to feel more in control, make better decisions, and build a stronger future one day at a time, stay with this video until the end. Chapter 1. Adopt a disciplined mindset that respects money and opportunity. Money reveals the way a person thinks. It exposes discipline or carelessness. It shows patience or impulsive behavior. Many people believe wealth is created by luck or special talent. In truth, wealth often begins with a disciplined mindset that respects money and opportunity. The 1% do not simply earn more money. They think about money in a different way. They treat it with responsibility, attention, and purpose. A disciplined mindset does not appear overnight. It is built through awareness and daily practice. The first step is understanding that money is a tool. It is not an enemy, and it is not a toy. It is a resource that reflects decisions. When someone respects money, every dollar receives attention. Every financial choice becomes deliberate. Many people spend money without thinking. They buy things to feel better in the moment. They react to pressure from others. They follow trends that offer temporary satisfaction. Over time, these habits drain financial strength. They also weaken self-control. The 1% understand that small decisions shape long-term results. A disciplined mind pauses before spending. It asks a simple question: does this decision help my future or harm it? Respect for money begins with awareness of where money goes. This simple practice creates clarity. Without clarity, there can be no control. Many individuals avoid looking at their finances because they feel discomfort or fear. That avoidance leads to confusion. Confusion leads to poor decisions. Discipline begins with facing reality. A practical step is to track every expense for 30 days. This exercise does not require complex systems. A simple notebook or phone note works well. Each purchase must be written down. Food, transportation, subscriptions, small daily spending, and major purchases must all be recorded. At the end of the month, patterns will appear. Some expenses will support life and productivity. Others will reveal waste. This awareness changes behavior. When people see their spending clearly, they begin to question habits that once felt normal. Discipline grows from this honest observation. The 1% constantly measure their financial behavior. They review numbers regularly because numbers tell the truth. Another key element of a disciplined mindset is delayed gratification. Many people struggle with this principle because modern culture rewards instant pleasure. Advertising encourages people to buy immediately. Social pressure pushes people to show visible success. The disciplined individual does not follow these impulses. Delaying gratification means choosing long-term progress over short-term excitement. This decision is powerful because time multiplies consistent actions. A small amount of money saved and invested today can grow steadily over years. A small amount of money wasted every day slowly erodes financial stability. The 1% understand the power of time. They respect it deeply. When they receive money, they think about how that money can grow rather than disappear. They ask how today's decision affects the next 5 years or 10 years. This mindset protects them from careless spending. Building this habit requires conscious effort. One practical method is the pause rule. Before any non-essential purchase, wait 24 hours. This simple delay creates space for reflection. Many desires fade during this pause. The mind becomes calmer and more rational. When the purchase still feels meaningful after reflection, it can be made with confidence. When the desire disappears, money remains available for better opportunities. Opportunity is another concept that the disciplined mind respects deeply. Money alone does not create wealth. Opportunities transform money into growth. These opportunities appear in many forms. They may involve learning a new skill, starting a small business, investing in knowledge, or supporting an idea with potential value. Many people miss opportunities because their resources are constantly consumed by unnecessary spending. When money disappears quickly, there is no capacity to act when opportunity appears. The 1% maintain financial readiness. They keep resources available because they know opportunity rarely arrives with warning. This mindset requires restraint. It also requires patience. A disciplined individual accepts that not every desire must be satisfied immediately. Instead, they focus on building strength. Financial strength creates freedom to respond when meaningful chances arise. Another powerful aspect of discipline is emotional control. Money decisions are often driven by emotion rather than logic. Stress, excitement, envy, and fear can influence financial behavior. A person may overspend to escape stress. Another may buy luxury items to impress others. These actions provide temporary relief but create long-term consequences. The 1% train themselves to recognize emotional impulses. They pause before acting on them. They ask whether the decision serves a clear purpose. This pause protects them from regret. Emotional discipline is developed through awareness and practice. One helpful exercise involves separating needs from wants. Needs support basic living and personal growth. Wants provide comfort or pleasure but are not essential. Writing these categories clearly creates mental order. When spending decisions arise, the mind can evaluate them calmly. Respect for money also includes respect for effort. Every dollar represents time and energy invested in work. When a person recognizes this connection, spending becomes more thoughtful. The disciplined mind does not waste resources because it understands their origin. Consider a simple example. Imagine working 8 hours to earn a certain amount of money. When that money is spent carelessly, it means those hours were used without purpose. When that money is invested or saved, it means those hours continue to create value in the future. This perspective strengthens discipline. The 1% often view money as stored effort. This concept encourages responsible decisions. It reminds individuals that financial choices are also life choices. Respecting money means respecting personal effort and time. Another critical element of disciplined thinking is personal responsibility. Many people blame external factors for financial struggles. They blame the economy, employers, or circumstances. External conditions can influence outcomes, but they do not control personal decisions. The 1% focus on what they can control. They cannot control every market condition, but they can control spending habits, learning habits, and investment decisions. This focus on responsibility creates power. It allows individuals to act rather than complain. A practical step is to review financial decisions weekly. Set aside time each week to examine income, expenses, and progress toward financial goals. This routine builds accountability. It also strengthens awareness. Over time, this habit becomes natural and empowering. Financial discipline also involves clear goals. Without direction, money flows without purpose. Goals provide structure and motivation. These goals should be specific and meaningful. They may include building an emergency fund, investing consistently, eliminating debt, or creating a source of passive income. Writing these goals makes them real. The disciplined mind revisits them regularly. Progress is measured honestly. Adjustments are made when necessary. This process keeps attention focused on long-term improvement. Another powerful practice is gratitude. Many people underestimate the connection between gratitude and financial discipline. When individuals appreciate what they already have, they reduce the desire for unnecessary consumption. Gratitude creates contentment. Contentment strengthens self-control. Each day, take a moment to recognize the resources already available. Sheltered food, skills, knowledge, and opportunities are valuable assets. This awareness reduces comparison with others. It also encourages thoughtful decisions about how resources are used. The 1% rarely waste energy comparing themselves with others. They concentrate on progress. They measure success by improvement rather than appearance. This mindset protects them from impulsive financial behavior driven by social pressure. Learning is another essential part of respecting money. Financial knowledge empowers wise decisions. Many individuals avoid financial education because they believe it is complicated. In reality, the basic principles are simple. Saving consistently, investing patiently, avoiding unnecessary debt, and understanding risk form the foundation. A disciplined person commits to learning about these principles. Reading books, listening to educational material, and studying successful financial strategies build confidence. Knowledge transforms fear into clarity. With clarity comes better decision-making. Action is the final and most important element. Knowledge without action produces no results. A disciplined mindset converts ideas into habits. Small actions repeated daily create powerful outcomes over time. Begin with simple habits. Save a portion of every income. Track expenses consistently. Avoid unnecessary debt. Invest in knowledge and productive opportunities. Review financial progress regularly. These actions may appear small, but their cumulative effect is enormous. Many people underestimate the impact of consistent effort. They expect dramatic change quickly. The 1% understand that wealth is built through steady progress. Patience becomes a powerful advantage. Each disciplined decision strengthens financial stability. Resilience also plays an important role. Financial challenges will occur. Unexpected expenses may appear. Investments may not always succeed immediately. These experiences test discipline. A resilient mindset learns from setbacks without losing focus. Instead of reacting with frustration, the disciplined individual studies the situation. They ask what lesson can be learned. They adjust their strategy and continue moving forward. This calm persistence separates successful individuals from those who give up. Self-respect is deeply connected to financial discipline. When people treat money with respect, they also strengthen personal confidence. They know their decisions align with long-term values. This alignment creates inner stability. Confidence grows as financial habits improve. Each responsible decision builds trust in personal judgment. This trust encourages greater ambition and opportunity seeking. Gradually, a powerful cycle forms. Discipline creates progress, and progress reinforces discipline. The 1% often appear calm about money because their mindset is grounded in principles rather than emotion. They know their habits protect them. They trust their process. This quiet confidence is not arrogance. It is the result of consistent self-control and awareness. Anyone can develop this mindset. Wealth thinking is not reserved for a small group. It is a skill that grows through practice. The beginning may feel uncomfortable because discipline challenges old habits. Over time, new habits become natural. Every person has the ability to change financial behavior. It begins with a decision to take responsibility. It continues with small daily actions that build strength. Respecting money leads to respecting opportunity. Respecting opportunity leads to growth. Opportunity often appears when preparation meets awareness. A disciplined individual is prepared because resources are protected and knowledge is expanding. When a chance appears, they can respond confidently. This readiness creates a powerful advantage. Life offers countless chances for improvement. Some are small and others are significant. The disciplined mind recognizes them and acts wisely. This mindset transforms ordinary income into lasting wealth over time. Imagine living with clarity about every financial decision. Imagine knowing that each choice supports your future rather than undermines it. This peace of mind is one of the greatest rewards of discipline. It reduces stress and creates stability. Financial discipline does not remove enjoyment from life. Instead, it protects meaningful enjoyment. When spending aligns with values and long-term goal, satisfaction becomes deeper and more sustainable. Money becomes a tool that supports freedom rather than a source of anxiety. The journey begins with a simple commitment. Respect money. Respect effort. Respect opportunity. Pay attention to daily decisions. Practice patience when impulses appear. Seek knowledge and apply it consistently. These actions gradually shape a powerful mindset. Over time, this disciplined perspective influences every area of life. Work becomes more purposeful. Learning becomes continuous. Decisions become thoughtful. Financial growth follows naturally from these qualities. Wealth is rarely the result of a single dramatic moment. It grows from countless small choices made with discipline and awareness. Each responsible action strengthens the foundation for the next opportunity. Adopting a disciplined mindset that respects money and opportunity is the first step toward lasting success. It is not about perfection. It is about commitment to steady improvement. Every day offers a chance to practice this mindset. The path forward is clear. Observe your habits honestly. Protect your resources carefully. Invest your time and money wisely. Learn continuously. Remain patient during challenges. Act with purpose when opportunities appear. Through these practices, the mind becomes stronger. Discipline becomes natural. Money becomes a partner in growth rather than a source of stress. With time and persistence, this mindset opens the door to the principles that guide the 1%. The true secret is not hidden knowledge. It is disciplined thinking applied daily. Respect money. Respect opportunity. Respect the power of consistent action. Through this approach, lasting financial strength becomes possible for anyone willing to practice it with patience and determination. Chapter 2: Build daily habits that grow wealth through consistent action. Wealth rarely appears through one large decision. It grows through quiet actions repeated every day. Many people search for a dramatic breakthrough, a sudden opportunity, or a perfect strategy that will instantly change their financial life. The truth is far simpler and far more powerful. The people who build lasting wealth rely on disciplined daily habits that guide their choices and shape their future. Habits form the structure of life. They determine how time is used, how energy is directed, and how opportunities are handled. When habits are careless, progress becomes slow and unstable. When habits are intentional, progress becomes steady and reliable. The individuals who reach the highest levels of financial success do not rely on motivation alone. They rely on routines that support consistent action. A habit is a decision that no longer requires effort. It becomes part of daily behavior. Once a habit is established, it continues working quietly in the background. This is why habits are powerful. They remove the need for constant willpower. Instead of forcing yourself to make the right choice every time, you design your life so the right choice becomes natural. Building wealth begins with controlling small daily behaviors. A person who spends carelessly every day slowly damages financial stability. A person who directs small amounts of money toward growth every day slowly builds strength. These small actions appear insignificant at first. Over time, they create remarkable change. The first habit that strengthens financial progress is intentional planning. Each day should begin with awareness of priorities. Many people move through the day reacting to circumstances rather than directing their time. When the day is unplanned, attention becomes scattered. Energy is spent on distractions instead of meaningful progress. Successful individuals begin their day with clarity. They review their responsibilities and identify actions that move their financial life forward. This may include improving work performance, studying valuable knowledge, reviewing investments, or developing a side project. Even a small step taken daily creates momentum. Another powerful habit involves protecting time. Time is the most valuable resource because it cannot be replaced. Every person receives the same number of hours each day. The difference lies in how those hours are used. Wealth builders guard their time carefully. They avoid activities that produce little value and focus on actions that support growth. A simple method can strengthen this discipline. At the end of each day, review how time was spent. Notice which activities created progress and which ones wasted energy. This honest reflection allows adjustment. Over time, this awareness improves daily focus. Daily saving is another habit that builds financial strength. Many individuals believe saving must wait until income becomes large. This belief delays progress. The true purpose of saving is not only to accumulate money, but also to train the mind. When saving becomes a habit, it strengthens discipline and patience. A person who saves consistently develops control over spending impulses. This habit also builds confidence. Each saved amount represents progress. Even a small portion of income saved daily or weekly creates a powerful long-term effect. Consistency is more important than size. A small amount saved every day forms a strong foundation. Over months and years, this steady behavior produces meaningful results. Wealth builders understand that steady effort outperforms occasional enthusiasm. Another daily habit involves learning. Financial success requires understanding. The world changes constantly. Markets shift, technology advances, and new opportunities emerge. Individuals who continue learning remain prepared for these changes. Learning does not require complicated systems. Reading for 30 minutes each day can expand knowledge significantly over time. Listening to educational material while commuting or exercising can also strengthen understanding. The key is consistency. When learning becomes a daily routine, knowledge compounds just like money. Practical knowledge about money, business, investing, and human behavior improves decision-making. Every lesson increases awareness. Better awareness leads to better choices. Productive thinking is another daily habit that shapes financial growth. The mind constantly generates thoughts. These thoughts influence actions. When thinking is negative or fearful, opportunities appear threatening. When thinking is calm and focused, opportunities appear manageable. A disciplined person trains the mind to think constructively. This does not mean ignoring difficulties. It means approaching problems with reason instead of panic. When challenges appear, the mind asks practical questions. What is the real problem? What action can improve the situation? What lesson can be learned? This calm thinking strengthens resilience. Financial progress always involves challenges. Markets fluctuate. Business ideas require adjustment. Income may change. A steady mind allows wise responses rather than emotional reactions. Another habit that supports wealth building is regular review of financial progress. Numbers provide clarity. When income, expenses, savings, and investments are reviewed frequently, the direction becomes visible. This visibility allows timely corrections. Many individuals avoid financial review because they fear discovering mistakes. This avoidance prevents improvement. The disciplined person approaches numbers with curiosity rather than fear. Each review becomes an opportunity to learn and adjust. A weekly review can be highly effective. Examine income sources, spending patterns, and savings contributions. Ask whether current behavior aligns with long-term goals. When misalignment appears, make small corrections immediately. This habit prevents small problems from growing into serious obstacles. Creating value for others is another habit practiced daily by those who build wealth. Money flows toward value. People receive income when they solve problems, improve systems, or provide services that benefit others. Wealth builders constantly ask how they can become more useful. Improving professional skills is one way to increase value. Offering better service to clients is another. Developing a product or idea that solves a common problem can also create opportunity. Each day offers chances to increase usefulness. This habit shifts attention away from complaining about circumstances. Instead of focusing on limitations, the mind searches for ways to contribute. This mindset often reveals opportunities that others overlook. Health and energy also influence financial progress. A tired and distracted person struggles to maintain consistent effort. Wealth builders recognize that physical and mental strength support productivity. Daily habits that maintain health become valuable investments. Simple routines such as regular exercise, balanced meals, and adequate rest improve focus and stamina. These habits strengthen the ability to work effectively and think clearly. Over time, this stability supports better decision-making. Environment also affects daily habits. The people and influences surrounding an individual shape thinking and behavior. When someone spends time with individuals who waste money and time, those patterns become easier to adopt. When someone interacts with disciplined and growth-oriented people, positive habits become easier to maintain. Choosing a supportive environment is a powerful decision. This may involve seeking mentors, joining professional communities, or simply limiting exposure to negative influences. Even small changes in environment can strengthen discipline. Another effective habit is setting clear financial targets. These targets provide direction for daily action. When a person knows exactly what they are working toward, motivation becomes more stable. Targets should be realistic but meaningful. They may include saving a certain amount, increasing income through skill development, or reducing unnecessary expenses. Writing these targets and reviewing them daily keeps attention focused. Small victories should also be recognized. Progress often occurs gradually. A habit maintained for 30 days deserves acknowledgement. An increase in savings or knowledge represents meaningful improvement. Recognizing these achievements reinforces positive behavior. Persistence is essential in this process. Habits require time to become stable. The beginning may feel uncomfortable because old patterns resist change. Discipline during this stage is crucial. After several weeks, new behaviors become easier and eventually automatic. The people who reach high levels of financial success rarely rely on sudden bursts of effort. They rely on steady daily movement in the right direction. Each day contributes a small piece to a larger structure. This approach removes the pressure of dramatic transformation. Instead of attempting to change everything at once, focus on building one strong habit at a time. Once it becomes stable, introduce another. Over months and years, these habits combine to form a powerful system. Consistent action also builds self-respect. When a person honors commitments to themselves, confidence grows. This confidence encourages greater responsibility and ambition. Gradually, the individual begins to trust their own discipline. That trust becomes a powerful asset. When opportunities appear, a disciplined individual is prepared to act because habits have created stability and readiness. Financial independence does not require perfection. It requires steady progress guided by wise habits. Each day offers another chance to strengthen these routines. Each small action contributes to long-term growth. Choose habits that support saving, learning, productive work, and thoughtful decision-making. Protect time and energy. Review progress regularly. Remain patient during the process. Through these consistent actions, wealth begins to grow quietly. The transformation may not appear dramatic at first. Over time, the results become undeniable. A person who once struggled with careless habits becomes someone who directs resources with clarity and purpose. Daily habits create the bridge between intention and achievement. When actions align with goals repeatedly, success becomes a natural outcome rather than a distant hope. This steady discipline is one of the true foundations of lasting wealth. Chapter 30: Control spending and direct money toward purposeful investments. Money moves constantly. It arrives through effort and leaves through decisions. Many people focus only on earning more income while ignoring the way money flows out of their lives. True financial progress requires control over both directions. Income creates possibility, but spending determines whether that possibility becomes growth or disappears quietly. The individuals who build strong financial lives develop a calm and disciplined relationship with spending. They do not allow impulse or pressure to guide their decisions. They choose carefully where their money goes and ensure that each choice supports a larger purpose. Control over spending begins with awareness of value. Every purchase represents an exchange. You trade time, energy, and attention for a product or service. When people forget this connection, spending becomes careless. They buy items simply because they feel temporary excitement or because others expect it. Over time, this behavior drains financial strength and leaves little room for progress. The first step toward responsible spending is slowing down the decision process. When money is spent quickly, the mind does not evaluate consequences clearly. A calm pause allows reason to enter the decision. Before paying for anything non-essential, examine the real benefit it will bring. Ask whether it improves life in a meaningful way or simply provides a short moment of pleasure. Many purchases promise satisfaction, but deliver only brief excitement. After the initial feeling fades, the item becomes another possession that occupies space without improving daily life. This pattern quietly consumes income. Learning to recognize it creates powerful discipline. One effective habit involves examining the true cost of every purchase. When an item appears attractive, calculate how many hours of work are required to earn that amount of money. This reflection creates perspective. An object that once seemed harmless may feel less appealing when its cost represents several hours of effort. This simple calculation strengthens respect for money. It encourages thoughtful decisions because each purchase now carries visible weight. Over time, this habit reduces waste and protects financial resources for meaningful opportunities. Another useful approach involves separating emotional desire from rational purpose. Spending often increases during moments of stress, boredom, or frustration. In those moments, buying something can create a brief sense of comfort. Unfortunately, the underlying problem remains unchanged, while money disappears. Recognizing this pattern allows you to respond differently. When the urge to spend appears during emotional discomfort, pause and identify the feeling. Instead of reaching for a purchase, choose a healthier response such as walking, reflecting, or speaking with someone who offers clear perspective. Emotional awareness protects financial discipline. Controlling spending does not mean removing enjoyment from life. A disciplined person understands the difference between thoughtful enjoyment and careless consumption. Money can support experiences, education, and comfort when used wisely. The goal is not restriction for its own sake. The goal is alignment between spending and long-term well-being. Purposeful spending focuses on quality rather than quantity. Instead of purchasing many unnecessary items, choose fewer things that genuinely improve daily life. This approach reduces clutter and strengthens appreciation. Each purchase carries intention rather than impulse. When spending becomes intentional, the next step is directing money toward investments that produce growth. An investment is any use of money that increases future capacity. It may produce financial returns, improved skills, stronger relationships, or greater stability. The disciplined individual understands that money should work continuously rather than remain idle. One of the most powerful investments is knowledge. Learning expands the ability to earn, create, and solve problems. Books, courses, and practical training can transform the direction of a career or business. Money used for education often produces value far beyond its initial cost. Another form of investment involves building productive assets. These assets may include businesses, property, or financial instruments that generate income. While the specific form varies for each person, the principle remains constant. Money directed toward productive assets creates the possibility of ongoing returns. Before making any investment, patience and study are essential. Many people lose money because they rush into opportunities without understanding them. The disciplined investor takes time to examine risks and potential outcomes. Careful observation protects against unnecessary loss. Diversification also supports stability. Placing all resources into a single opportunity creates vulnerability. Spreading investments across different areas reduces the impact of unexpected changes. This approach requires thoughtful planning but strengthens long-term resilience. Another important investment involves personal development. Skills such as communication, leadership, and strategic thinking improve the ability to create value. These abilities often influence income more than technical knowledge alone. Money spent developing these skills supports future opportunities. Health is another area where investment produces strong returns. A healthy body and clear mind improve productivity, creativity, and endurance. Resources directed toward proper nutrition, physical activity, and mental well-being support long-term success. Many individuals underestimate the financial value of health. Illness or fatigue can reduce earning capacity and limit opportunity. Maintaining physical strength protects the ability to work effectively and think clearly. This protection makes health one of the most practical investments available. A disciplined approach to spending also includes preparing for uncertainty. Life contains unpredictable events. Sudden expenses, economic changes, or unexpected responsibilities may appear without warning. Without preparation, these moments create financial stress. Setting aside funds for emergencies provides stability during these situations. This reserve allows problems to be handled calmly rather than through desperate borrowing or rushed decisions. Over time, this habit builds confidence and peace of mind. Directing money toward investments requires a clear plan. Without direction, resources may sit unused or drift toward unproductive areas. Establishing specific goals provides structure. These goals may include building a certain level of savings, acquiring productive assets, or expanding professional skills. Writing these goals strengthens commitment. When the mind sees a clear destination, it becomes easier to resist distractions. Each financial decision can then be measured against this purpose. Another valuable habit involves regular review of investments and spending patterns. Financial environments change and personal goals evolve. Reviewing progress ensures that money continues moving in the right direction. Adjustments made early prevent larger problems later. During these reviews, examine whether spending aligns with priorities. If certain expenses provide little value, they can be reduced or removed. The saved money can then be redirected toward investments that support growth. Patience plays an important role in this process. Investments rarely produce immediate results. Growth often occurs gradually as time multiplies consistent effort. Many people abandon good strategies because they expect rapid outcomes. The disciplined individual remains steady and allows time to work. This patience reflects a deeper understanding of wealth. True financial strength develops through thoughtful choices repeated over long periods. Each controlled purchase and each purposeful investment contributes to a larger structure of stability and opportunity. Self-control becomes easier as progress becomes visible. Savings grow, knowledge expands, and opportunities begin to appear. These results reinforce discipline. The mind learns that careful decisions create meaningful rewards. The ability to control spending also protects independence. When expenses remain manageable, life choices expand. You gain the freedom to pursue better work, explore new ideas, or respond to unexpected opportunities without constant financial pressure. Financial independence does not require extraordinary income. It requires responsible management of available resources. Many people with large incomes struggle financially because spending grows faster than earnings. Others build stability with moderate income because they guide their money wisely. This truth highlights the importance of character. Wealth thinking begins with discipline rather than income level. A person who controls spending and invests with purpose gradually builds strength regardless of starting point. Every day offers choices that shape financial direction. Each purchase can support growth or weaken progress. Each decision about investment can build future opportunity or create unnecessary risk. Awareness of these choices strengthens responsibility. Imagine looking back after several years of disciplined financial behavior. Investments have grown steadily. Knowledge has expanded. Opportunities appear more frequently because preparation meets possibility. This transformation begins with small decisions made consistently. The path forward remains simple yet powerful. Spend with intention. Examine the value behind each purchase. Direct resources toward knowledge, assets, health, and stability. Review progress regularly and remain patient as growth unfolds. Through this approach, money becomes a partner in building a meaningful life. It supports independence, creativity, and contribution to others. Controlled spending and purposeful investment create the foundation for lasting financial strength. Chapter 40. Think long-term and make patient financial decisions. Many people make financial choices based only on the present moment. They react to what feels urgent today without thinking carefully about how those decisions shape the future. This approach creates instability. Short-term thinking often leads to quick pleasure but long-term difficulty. The individuals who build lasting wealth train their minds to look far beyond the present moment. They examine how today's actions will influence the coming years. This ability to think long-term becomes one of the most powerful advantages in financial life. A long-term mindset begins with perspective. Life moves in seasons rather than isolated days. Income grows over time. Knowledge expands gradually. Opportunities appear after preparation. When someone understands this rhythm, patience becomes natural. Instead of chasing fast rewards, they focus on building something that will endure. Many financial mistakes happen because people demand immediate results. They expect investments to grow quickly. They want businesses to succeed instantly. When progress appears slow, they abandon the effort and search for something new. This pattern prevents meaningful achievement. Success requires steady commitment long enough for progress to develop. Patience allows growth to unfold. Wealth rarely appears suddenly. It forms through thoughtful decisions repeated over many years. A person who invests carefully, saves consistently, and continues learning gradually builds strong financial foundations. The results may appear quiet in the beginning, yet over time the difference becomes remarkable. Thinking long-term also changes how risk is evaluated. In the short term, markets and opportunities often move unpredictably. Prices rise and fall. Economic conditions shift. Individuals who focus only on these short movements often react emotionally. They buy when excitement is high and sell when fear appears. This behavior creates losses. A long-term thinker views these movements differently. Temporary changes become part of a larger pattern rather than a source of panic. Instead of reacting quickly, they step back and observe the broader direction. This calm observation allows wiser decisions. Developing this mindset requires training the mind to slow down. The world encourages urgency. News headlines highlight sudden changes. Social media shows dramatic stories of rapid success. These influences can create the illusion that wealth grows instantly. In reality, most meaningful achievements develop through patient effort. One practical way to build long-term thinking is to define a clear future vision. Consider the life you want to create 10 or 20 years from now. Imagine the level of freedom, security, and contribution you would like to experience. When that picture becomes clear, daily financial decisions begin to align with it. A person who understands their future goals will treat money differently. Spending becomes more thoughtful because every choice affects long-term plans. Investments become more purposeful because they serve a clear direction. The future begins to guide the present. Another helpful practice involves extending the timeline of every financial decision. When evaluating an opportunity, ask how it might perform over several years rather than several weeks. This shift immediately changes perspective. Quick profit may appear attractive in the moment, yet long-term stability often produces far greater value. Long-term thinking also improves resilience during challenges. Difficult periods occur in every financial journey. Businesses face slow seasons. Investments experience temporary declines. Careers sometimes require adjustment. Individuals who expect constant smooth progress often become discouraged during these periods. The patient thinker understands that setbacks are part of growth. They evaluate the situation calmly and look for solutions. Instead of abandoning the path, they make adjustments and continue forward. This steady attitude protects progress. Time itself becomes an ally for those who practice patience. Money that is invested wisely grows through the power of compounding. This process allows earnings to generate additional earnings over long periods. At first, the effect may appear modest. As years pass, the growth accelerates. Understanding compounding encourages patience. It reminds individuals that consistent action today will multiply in the future. A small investment maintained regularly can become a powerful asset after many years. This principle rewards discipline and long-term commitment. Long-term thinking also influences how opportunities are chosen. Many offers promise fast results but carry hidden risks. These opportunities often rely on speculation rather than genuine value creation. The patient investor examines whether an opportunity produces lasting benefit. Investments connected to real value tend to endure. Businesses that solve meaningful problems attract loyal customers. Skills that improve productivity remain useful across changing markets. Assets connected to strong economic foundations often grow steadily over time. Another important element of long-term thinking involves learning from history. Financial markets and economic systems move in cycles. Periods of growth are often followed by periods of correction. Studying these patterns creates valuable understanding. It shows that temporary downturns are normal rather than catastrophic. This historical awareness reduces fear. Instead of reacting impulsively during uncertainty, the disciplined thinker maintains perspective. They understand that patience often leads to recovery and growth. Long-term planning also encourages preparation. Individuals who focus on the future recognize the importance of building reserves and strengthening stability. They create safety margins that allow them to navigate difficult periods without panic. Savings, diversified investments, and manageable expenses all support this stability. When life becomes uncertain, these preparations provide protection. Calm decision-making becomes possible because financial pressure is reduced. Another benefit of long-term thinking is clarity about priorities. Many people feel constant pressure to keep up with others. They buy expensive items to display success or to match social expectations. These purchases often provide little lasting value. A person focused on the future evaluates these choices differently. They recognize that temporary appearances do not contribute to meaningful progress. Resources are directed toward goals that truly matter. This clarity simplifies financial life. Patience also strengthens character. Waiting for results requires discipline and emotional balance. It teaches the mind to resist impulsive reactions. This self-control becomes valuable in every area of life, not only in finance. The process of waiting also provides time for improvement. Skills can be refined. Knowledge can expand. Relationships can develop. These elements often determine success more than money alone. Long-term thinkers invest energy in these areas because they understand their importance. Daily behavior reflects this perspective. Instead of searching for shortcuts, patient individuals concentrate on consistent effort. They perform their work carefully. They continue learning. They review progress regularly. Each day contributes a small piece to a larger vision. This steady approach may appear slow compared with dramatic stories of sudden wealth, yet it produces far more reliable results. A strong financial life built patiently tends to remain stable because its foundation is solid. Another useful habit involves limiting exposure to noise and distraction. Constant financial news and speculation can disturb clear thinking. Many short-term predictions prove inaccurate and encourage unnecessary reaction. Long-term thinkers filter information carefully and focus on principles rather than headlines. This discipline protects mental clarity. Decisions remain based on thoughtful analysis rather than emotional influence. Over time, this calm approach builds confidence and consistency. Long-term thinking also includes responsibility for future generations. Money can support family stability, education, and opportunity for those who come after us. When individuals think beyond their own immediate needs, financial decisions gain deeper meaning. Building resources that benefit others creates a sense of purpose. Investments and savings become part of a legacy rather than a personal achievement alone. This broader perspective strengthens commitment to wise financial behavior. The journey toward financial success is not a race. It is a steady path that rewards patience, learning, and thoughtful action. Each year of disciplined behavior strengthens the foundation created in previous years. Imagine observing your financial life from a distant point in the future. The investments made today have grown. The knowledge gained through study has expanded opportunities. The patience practiced during uncertain moments has protected progress. These outcomes are the natural result of long-term thinking. Every decision today becomes a message to the future. Careful choices send a message of preparation and responsibility. Impulsive choices send a message of neglect. The future simply reflects what the present creates. Adopting a long-term perspective transforms the way money is handled. Time becomes a partner rather than an enemy. Patience becomes a strength rather than a burden. Financial decisions gain clarity because they serve a larger vision. When individuals learn to think beyond the present moment, they step into a different level of financial awareness. They stop reacting to every change and begin guiding their lives with purpose. Through patience and steady commitment, lasting financial strength becomes possible. Chapter 5v Learn valuable skills that increase income and personal value. Income is rarely determined by effort alone. Many people work long hours yet struggle to increase their earnings. The difference often lies in the value of the skills a person brings to the world. Skills determine the problems you can solve, the responsibilities you can handle, and the opportunities you can access. The individuals who rise financially understand this truth very clearly. They treat learning as a lifelong responsibility and constantly develop abilities that increase their usefulness. A skill is more than knowledge. Knowledge explains how something works, but skill is the ability to apply that knowledge in a real situation. Skill produces results that others need or appreciate. When people recognize that your abilities improve their lives, they willingly exchange money for the value you provide. Many individuals remain stuck financially because they stop developing new abilities. They rely on the same knowledge they learned years ago and expect the world to reward them indefinitely. The world rarely works that way. Industries change. Technology evolves. New challenges appear. Those who continue learning adapt to these changes and often benefit from them. Personal value grows when a person becomes capable of solving larger problems. A worker who performs only simple tasks receives limited income because many others can do the same work. A person who can organize systems, lead teams, design solutions, or communicate complex ideas brings a different level of value. This difference often determines financial opportunity. The journey begins with honest self-observation. Take time to examine your current abilities. Identify what you do well and where improvement is needed. This process requires humility. Without honesty, growth becomes difficult. Understanding your strengths allows you to build upon them. Recognizing weaknesses reveals areas that require development. Learning valuable skills does not require extraordinary talent. It requires curiosity, patience, and consistent practice. Many abilities that appear impressive are the result of years of steady effort. People who achieve high competence usually began with small steps and gradually improved through repetition. One effective strategy is to choose skills that combine personal interest with practical demand. When learning feels meaningful, motivation becomes stronger. At the same time, the skill should solve real problems that people care about. This balance creates both satisfaction and opportunity. Communication is one of the most valuable abilities any person can develop. Clear communication allows ideas to travel from one mind to another. When you speak or write with clarity, people understand your intentions and trust your competence. Many capable individuals remain unnoticed simply because they cannot express their ideas effectively. Practicing communication requires active effort. Speaking with confidence, listening carefully, and organizing thoughts logically are all trainable abilities. Reading widely and writing regularly strengthen these skills over time. Each conversation becomes an opportunity to refine expression and understanding. Another skill that increases personal value is problem solving. Every organization and every community faces challenges that require thoughtful solutions. People who approach problems calmly and creatively become highly respected. They do not panic when difficulty appears. Instead, they observe the situation, analyze possible causes, and propose practical actions. Problem solving improves through practice. When encountering an obstacle, resist the urge to complain or blame others. Study the situation carefully and consider possible approaches. Even if the first solution fails, the process builds experience. Over time, the mind becomes skilled at identifying patterns and designing effective responses. Adaptability is also essential in a rapidly changing world. New technologies and new economic conditions can alter industries quickly. Individuals who resist change often struggle to keep pace. Those who remain flexible can learn new systems and adjust their methods when circumstances shift. Adaptability does not mean abandoning principles. It means remaining open to new information and adjusting strategies when evidence suggests improvement. This willingness to learn protects a person from becoming outdated. Leadership is another ability that significantly increases value. Leadership does not require a formal title. It begins with the ability to guide people toward a shared goal. A leader listens carefully, communicates clearly, and supports others in performing their best work. Organizations reward individuals who can unite teams and maintain productive environments. Developing leadership skills often involves practicing empathy and responsibility. Understanding how others think and feel improves cooperation. Accepting accountability for results builds trust. Financial understanding is also a skill that many people neglect. Learning how money flows through businesses, investments, and personal budgets strengthens decision-making. When you understand financial principles, you become capable of managing resources wisely and recognizing opportunities that others overlook. Learning about finance does not require advanced mathematics. It begins with understanding income, expenses, saving, investing, and risk. Studying these topics gradually builds confidence. With time, the ability to evaluate financial choices becomes natural. Technical abilities also create powerful opportunities. Skills related to technology, engineering, data analysis, design, and digital systems continue to grow in importance. Even basic familiarity with modern tools can increase productivity and open doors to new roles. However, technical knowledge alone is rarely enough. Combining technical ability with communication and problem-solving multiplies its impact. The most respected professionals often blend several skills together, allowing them to approach challenges from different angles. Time management is another skill that influences income and productivity. Every person receives the same number of hours each day. Those who organize their time effectively can accomplish far more than those who move through the day without structure. Effective time management begins with identifying priorities. Important tasks should receive attention during periods of highest focus. Distractions must be limited. Many successful individuals schedule time for learning, planning, and reflection because these activities strengthen long-term progress. Building valuable skills requires consistent practice. Reading about a subject provides understanding, but practical experience transforms knowledge into ability. Repetition allows the brain to refine movements, decisions, and reactions. With time, actions become smoother and more accurate. Patience is necessary during this process. Early attempts may feel slow or uncertain. Mistakes will occur. Instead of feeling discouraged, treat each mistake as information, adjust your method, and continue practicing. Progress appears gradually and becomes stronger with persistence. Seeking guidance from experienced individuals can accelerate learning. Mentors share insights gained from years of experience. They can warn about common mistakes and suggest effective strategies. Listening carefully to such guidance saves time and energy. Another helpful approach involves teaching others what you have learned. Explaining a concept strengthens understanding because it forces the mind to organize ideas clearly. Teaching also builds confidence and communication ability. As skills grow, opportunities often appear in unexpected ways. Employers notice competence and reliability. Clients seek individuals who consistently deliver quality work. Business partners prefer collaborators who demonstrate knowledge and integrity. Increasing income then becomes a natural consequence of increased value. When your abilities produce meaningful results, others recognize the benefit and reward it. This process may take time, yet it creates sustainable progress. Personal value extends beyond financial reward. Skilled individuals experience a deeper sense of purpose because they contribute meaningfully to society. Their work solves problems, supports communities, and improves systems. This contribution provides satisfaction that money alone cannot provide. The journey of skill development never truly ends. Each level of competence reveals new areas for improvement. The world continues to evolve, presenting fresh challenges that require new knowledge. Remaining curious ensures continued growth. Consider the long-term impact of steady learning. A person who develops even one valuable skill every few years gradually builds a powerful collection of abilities. These skills combine to create a unique professional identity that cannot easily be replaced. The path forward is clear and practical. Observe your current abilities honestly. Choose skills that create real value. Dedicate time each day to learning and practice. Seek feedback and remain patient through the learning process. Through consistent effort, personal value expands. Income opportunities increase because the world rewards individuals who bring solutions and competence. By investing energy into skill development, you strengthen both your financial future and your capacity to contribute meaningfully to others. Chapter 6a. Create multiple income streams that strengthen financial security. Financial stability grows stronger when income does not depend on a single source. Many people rely entirely on one job or one payment stream. When that single source changes or disappears, their financial life becomes fragile. The individuals who build lasting security understand that relying on only one channel of income creates risk. They gradually create several ways for money to enter their lives. Each source strengthens the others and forms a more stable financial structure. A single income stream may appear sufficient during comfortable times. When work is steady and income arrives regularly, it can feel safe. Yet life often brings unexpected changes. Industries shift, companies restructure, and economic conditions evolve. When income depends on only one source, these changes can cause serious difficulty. Creating additional streams reduces this vulnerability and increases freedom. Multiple income streams do not appear instantly. They grow through patience, learning, and strategic effort. The process begins by understanding that every income source represents value provided to others. When people receive income, it is because they solve problems, deliver services, or provide useful products. Creating more streams simply means finding additional ways to contribute value. The first step is strengthening the primary source of income. A stable main income provides the resources and confidence needed to build other opportunities. Performing work with reliability and skill ensures that the foundation remains secure. Excellence in current responsibilities also creates reputation and trust, which can lead to new possibilities. Once the primary income becomes stable, attention can turn toward developing a secondary source. This additional stream often begins as a small project outside regular working hours. It may involve freelancing, consulting, teaching, writing, or creating digital products. The specific form depends on personal interests and skills. The important principle is that the second income stream should align with existing abilities or areas where learning is possible. Starting with familiar skills reduces complexity and increases the chance of early progress. For example, someone skilled in design may offer freelance work. A person with strong organizational abilities may provide project support services. A teacher may develop educational material that can reach a wider audience. Patience is essential during this stage. The second income source may begin slowly. At first, the earnings may be modest. Instead of feeling discouraged, view this period as a time of learning and adjustment. Each step provides experience that improves future performance. Over time, the second stream may grow into a meaningful contributor to overall income. This growth builds confidence and demonstrates the power of diversification. The mind begins to see new possibilities for creating value. Another powerful form of income stream involves investments that generate returns. When money is directed into productive assets, those assets may begin producing income. Examples include dividend-paying investments, interest from savings instruments, or rental income from property. These forms of income differ from active work because they may continue even when the individual is not actively working. Building investment income requires careful study and disciplined behavior. Decisions must be made with patience and clear understanding of risk. Many people rush into investments seeking quick results and face unnecessary losses. The disciplined approach involves learning how different assets function and selecting those aligned with long-term goals. Small investments made consistently over time can grow into significant sources of income. The key is regular contribution and long-term commitment. Each investment becomes another piece of a larger financial structure. Technology has also created new possibilities for additional income streams. Digital platforms allow individuals to share knowledge, sell products, and offer services to global audiences. Someone can publish educational material, create online tools, or develop specialized content that generates income repeatedly. These opportunities require effort and creativity, yet they allow people to reach far beyond their immediate environment. With dedication, digital assets can produce ongoing income while freeing time for other pursuits. However, creating multiple income streams should be approached with balance. Attempting too many projects at once can create confusion and exhaustion. A wiser method is to build one additional stream carefully before starting another. Once a stream becomes stable and manageable, attention can shift toward developing the next opportunity. Time management becomes important during this process. Balancing work, learning, and personal responsibilities requires thoughtful planning. Setting aside specific hours each week for developing new income sources helps maintain progress without overwhelming daily life. The disciplined individual treats these hours with respect. Even when progress feels slow, consistent effort gradually builds results. Small actions performed regularly often lead to meaningful outcomes over time. Another advantage of multiple income streams is the expansion of personal skills. Each new project teaches lessons about communication, marketing, finance, or creativity. These lessons increase overall competence and may improve the primary career as well. The process also strengthens confidence. Knowing that income can arrive from several directions reduces fear about the future. This confidence encourages thoughtful risk-taking and exploration of new opportunities. Collaboration with others can also create additional income possibilities. Partnerships allow individuals to combine skills and resources. When people with complementary abilities work together, they can create services or products that neither could develop alone. For example, one person may excel in technical work while another specializes in communication or marketing. Together they can build projects that reach larger audiences and generate shared income. Integrity plays an important role in this process. Every income stream must be built on honesty and genuine value. Shortcuts that rely on deception may produce temporary gain but damage reputation and long-term opportunity. Sustainable success requires trust. Maintaining clear records of income streams is also essential. Understanding how each source performs allows better decisions about where to invest time and resources. Some streams may grow rapidly while others remain small. Regular review helps identify which activities deserve more attention. Another benefit of diversified income is resilience during economic change. When one industry slows, another may continue growing. Income from different areas provides balance. This stability protects financial plans from sudden disruption. Families also benefit from this approach. Multiple streams create stronger protection for household needs. Education, health, and daily living expenses become easier to manage when income arrives from several directions. The journey toward diversified income requires persistence. Early efforts may produce limited results, yet each attempt builds knowledge. Over time, the individual becomes more skilled at identifying opportunities and managing projects. Focus remains important throughout this journey. The goal is not to chase every trend, but to create reliable sources that align with personal values and abilities. Each stream should contribute to long-term security rather than short-term distraction. Imagine the confidence that comes from knowing your financial life is supported by several pillars rather than a single fragile structure. One income may cover daily needs, another may grow through investments. A third may develop from creative or entrepreneurial work. Together they create strength. This structure provides more than financial benefit, it provides peace of mind. When uncertainty appears in one area, other streams continue flowing. This stability allows calm decision-making and thoughtful planning. Every individual can begin building additional income sources with small steps. Start by examining current skills and interests. Identify ways those abilities could serve others beyond the primary job. Dedicate time each week to exploring and developing those ideas. Gradually transform effort into assets that produce value repeatedly. Maintain patience during slow periods and continue refining your approach. Through consistent action, the number of income streams will grow. Financial security does not come from luck. It comes from thoughtful preparation and disciplined effort. Creating multiple income streams strengthens independence and provides protection against uncertainty. With time and persistence, this approach forms a resilient financial life capable of supporting both present needs and future aspirations. Chapter 7. Study successful people and apply their proven financial strategies. Financial wisdom does not appear in isolation. Every generation leaves behind lessons that can guide the next. Some individuals spend years repeating mistakes that others have already solved. Others choose a different path. They observe the behavior of successful people, study the decisions that produced results, and apply those lessons in their own lives. This approach saves time, reduces costly errors, and accelerates progress. Success leaves clues. Behind every strong financial life there are patterns of thinking, habits of action, and principles that guide decisions. These patterns may appear simple at first glance, yet they reveal powerful discipline when examined closely. The individuals who build significant wealth rarely rely on luck alone. Their achievements are usually supported by clear strategies that have been refined over many years. Studying successful people does not mean copying every detail of their lives. Each person lives in different circumstances. Instead, the goal is to understand the principles behind their decisions. Principles remain valuable across changing environments because they reflect fundamental truths about behavior, effort, and responsibility. Observation is the first step in this learning process. Begin by paying attention to how financially successful individuals manage their resources. Notice how they think about money, opportunity, and risk. Their conversations often reveal attitudes that differ from the average perspective. They speak with intention, evaluate choices carefully, and rarely act without understanding consequences. Reading biographies and interviews can provide valuable insight into these patterns. When successful individuals describe their journeys, they often reveal the challenges they faced and the habits that helped them overcome difficulties. These stories contain practical lessons that can guide anyone willing to listen carefully. However, learning requires more than admiration. Some people study success only to feel inspired for a short moment. Inspiration without action fades quickly. The real value comes from applying useful ideas in daily behavior. Even small changes can create meaningful improvement when practiced consistently. For example, many financially successful individuals emphasize the importance of disciplined saving and thoughtful investment. They do not treat income as something that disappears immediately. Instead, they direct part of it toward assets that can grow and generate additional value. Applying this principle in personal life creates gradual financial strength. Another lesson often observed among successful people is their commitment to continuous learning. They read extensively, analyze trends, and seek understanding of new developments in business and technology. This constant curiosity allows them to adapt when circumstances change. Following this example encourages personal growth and prevents stagnation. Successful individuals also demonstrate strong decision-making. They rarely rush into opportunities without examining the details. Before committing resources, they ask clear questions. What value does this opportunity create? What risks are involved? What knowledge is required to manage those risks responsibly? Practicing this level of analysis improves financial judgment. It prevents emotional reactions and encourages thoughtful evaluation. Over time, the ability to assess opportunities becomes stronger, reducing the likelihood of costly mistakes. Another important lesson involves the way successful individuals view failure. Many people fear mistakes and avoid taking action because they worry about losing money or reputation. Wealth builders often treat failure differently. They view it as information rather than personal defeat. When an idea does not work as expected, they examine the outcome carefully. They ask what factors influenced the result and what adjustments could improve future attempts. This mindset transforms setbacks into education. Each experience strengthens their understanding. Applying this lesson requires humility. Accepting mistakes honestly allows learning to occur. Blaming circumstances or other people prevents improvement. When responsibility is accepted, progress becomes possible. Time management is another area where successful individuals often demonstrate discipline. They recognize that attention is limited and must be directed carefully. Activities that produce little value receive minimal focus. Energy is concentrated on tasks that contribute to long-term goals. Adopting this habit can significantly improve productivity. Begin by identifying the activities that support financial progress. Dedicate focused time to these tasks and reduce distractions that consume hours without producing meaningful results. Successful individuals also build strong relationships. They understand that collaboration and trust expand opportunities. By surrounding themselves with capable and ethical people, they create networks where ideas and resources flow more freely. Developing respectful relationships with mentors, colleagues, and partners can open doors that might otherwise remain closed. Listening carefully to experienced individuals often reveals strategies that cannot be found in books alone. Another pattern frequently observed among financially successful people is their patience with growth. They rarely expect instant outcomes. Instead, they focus on building systems and habits that produce results gradually. Investments, businesses, and professional reputations all require time to mature. Learning this lesson protects individuals from chasing unrealistic promises of quick wealth. A calm approach allows careful planning and steady progress. This patience strengthens resilience during periods when results appear slow. Successful people also maintain a clear understanding of their goals. Their financial decisions align with a larger purpose. Whether the goal involves independence, innovation, or supporting family and community, this clarity guides their actions. Applying this principle begins with reflection. Consider what financial success means in your own life. Define goals that reflect your values and responsibilities. When goals are clear, it becomes easier to evaluate opportunities and avoid distractions. Observation of successful individuals also reveals the importance of ethical behavior. Reputation plays a significant role in long-term achievement. Trust allows partnerships, investments, and business relationships to flourish. Dishonest behavior may create temporary gain, but eventually damages credibility. Practicing integrity in financial matters builds confidence and attracts respectful collaboration. Over time, this reputation becomes one of the most valuable assets a person can possess. Studying success also involves learning what not to do. Many biographies reveal mistakes that caused serious setbacks. Understanding these errors provides warning signs that can prevent similar outcomes. For example, excessive risk without proper knowledge has destroyed many fortunes. Careful study teaches the importance of preparation before major financial decisions. Applying lessons from successful people requires personal discipline. Ideas alone create no change until they influence behavior. Choose a small number of principles that resonate strongly and practice them daily. Gradually, these actions form habits that guide financial life. It is also important to remember that success does not follow a single path. Different individuals reach financial strength through different industries, talents, and opportunities. The goal is not to replicate another person's life exactly, but to absorb the principles that can strengthen your own journey. As knowledge grows, continue refining your approach. Observe new examples of success and compare their methods with your own experiences. This ongoing learning process keeps thinking flexible and alert. Technology now provides access to a vast library of knowledge from successful thinkers around the world. Books, lectures, interviews, and educational platforms allow anyone to study the ideas that once required personal contact with mentors. Taking advantage of these resources can accelerate personal growth. The discipline to study success regularly creates a powerful advantage. Each lesson adds to a growing understanding of how money, opportunity, and human behavior interact. Over time, this knowledge forms a clear mental framework for decision-making. Imagine approaching financial choices with the combined wisdom of many successful individuals guiding your thinking. Their experiences provide insight into challenges you may face and solutions that have already proven effective. This shared knowledge reduces uncertainty and increases confidence. Learning from those who have already achieved financial stability shortens the path toward similar results. It allows you to stand on the foundation they built rather than starting from nothing. Through observation, reflection, and consistent application, their proven strategies can gradually become part of your own financial practice. Success is not reserved for a small group of extraordinary individuals. It often grows from ordinary people who adopt effective principles and practice them with patience. By studying those who have walked the path before you and applying their lessons with discipline, you strengthen your ability to build a secure and meaningful financial future. Chapter 80. Develop emotional control to avoid impulsive money decisions. Money decisions are rarely controlled by numbers alone. Behind every purchase, investment, or financial commitment, there is a human emotion influencing the outcome. Excitement, fear, pressure, pride, and impatience often shape choices more than logic. When emotions dominate financial behavior, people frequently act in ways that damage their long-term stability. Developing emotional control, therefore, becomes one of the most important skills in protecting and growing wealth. Many individuals lose money not because they lack intelligence, but because they react too quickly to emotional impulses. A sudden feeling of excitement can lead someone to buy something unnecessary. Anxiety may cause a person to sell an investment at the worst possible moment. Social pressure might push someone to spend more than their budget allows. These situations happen every day, and they demonstrate how powerful emotional reactions can be. Emotional control does not mean ignoring feelings completely. Emotions are natural and provide valuable signals about what matters to us. The goal is to prevent those feelings from controlling decisions that require careful thought. When emotions are acknowledged but not allowed to dominate, financial judgment becomes clearer and more reliable. One of the most common emotional triggers is the desire for immediate satisfaction. Many purchases happen because something looks appealing in the moment. Advertisements, social media, and peer influence constantly encourage people to believe that happiness is connected to buying new things. This environment makes impulse spending extremely easy. When someone develops emotional discipline, they pause before acting on these urges. Instead of purchasing instantly, they create space between the desire and the decision. This pause allows the mind to evaluate whether the purchase truly supports long-term goals or simply satisfies a short-lived feeling. Another emotional influence that affects financial choices is fear. Fear appears in many forms. People may fear missing an opportunity, losing money, or appearing unsuccessful compared to others. These fears often lead to rushed decisions that ignore important details. For example, someone might invest in an unfamiliar opportunity because they fear being left behind while others appear to profit. Without proper understanding, this behavior exposes them to unnecessary risk. Emotional control helps individuals slow down and analyze opportunities carefully before committing resources. Impatience also plays a significant role in impulsive money decisions. Building financial stability usually requires consistent effort over time. However, impatience can tempt people to search for shortcuts that promise rapid results. These shortcuts often carry hidden risks or unrealistic expectations. When impatience influences choices, individuals may abandon sensible plans in favor of speculative actions. Emotional discipline allows a person to remain focused on steady progress rather than chasing quick rewards that may disappear as quickly as they appear. Another powerful emotional factor is the desire for social approval. Many spending decisions are influenced by how others might react. Some individuals purchase expensive items to impress friends or maintain a certain image. While this behavior may provide temporary validation, it rarely contributes to lasting financial security. Developing emotional awareness helps people recognize when external expectations are shaping their decisions. When personal values guide financial behavior instead of social pressure, spending becomes more purposeful and aligned with genuine priorities. Anger and frustration can also affect financial judgment. During stressful moments, people sometimes make decisions simply to release emotional tension. They might spend money impulsively, cancel long-term plans, or abandon disciplined habits because they feel overwhelmed. Learning to manage these emotional states protects financial progress. When frustration appears, stepping away from decisions until calm returns prevents actions that could cause regret later. Time and reflection often reveal more thoughtful solutions. Building emotional control begins with awareness. The first step is noticing the feelings that arise during financial situations. Pay attention to the emotional signals that appear when considering a purchase, investment, or financial commitment. Identifying these feelings helps create distance between emotion and action. Once emotions are recognized, it becomes easier to slow down the decision process. Instead of reacting immediately, individuals can ask themselves simple questions. Does this choice support my long-term goals? Am I acting from excitement, pressure, or fear? Would I make the same decision after waiting 24 hours? This brief reflection often reveals whether a decision is guided by reason or impulse. When emotions are strong, delaying the decision can be extremely helpful. Time allows feelings to settle and provides space for clearer thinking. Another useful strategy involves establishing personal rules for financial behavior. For example, someone might decide never to make large purchases without reviewing their budget first. Others may commit to researching investment opportunities thoroughly before committing money. These rules act as protective barriers against emotional reactions. Financial planning also strengthens emotional stability. When people have clear budgets, savings goals, and investment strategies, they are less likely to be influenced by sudden impulses. A structured plan provides direction and reduces uncertainty. Education plays an important role as well. The more knowledge someone has about money management, the easier it becomes to evaluate opportunities objectively. Understanding financial principles builds confidence and reduces the anxiety that often leads to emotional decision-making. Another important habit is separating identity from financial outcomes. Some individuals become emotionally attached to their investments or spending choices because they view those decisions as reflections of personal success or failure. When identity becomes tied to money decisions, emotions intensify and rational thinking becomes difficult. Maintaining a balanced perspective allows individuals to treat financial choices as practical matters rather than emotional battles. Successes can be appreciated without excessive pride, and mistakes can be corrected without shame. Practicing patience strengthens emotional control as well. Wealth rarely appears overnight. Most strong financial positions are built through consistent effort and thoughtful decisions made over many years. Accepting this reality reduces the temptation to act impulsively. Patience encourages people to trust the process of gradual improvement. Small, disciplined actions, repeated consistently, often produce stronger results than dramatic decisions driven by emotion. Reflection after each financial decision can also improve emotional awareness. After making a purchase or investment, consider what emotions were present during the process. Did excitement influence the decision? Was there pressure from others? Understanding these patterns helps improve future judgment. Over time, this habit develops a deeper understanding of personal behavior. With greater awareness, emotional reactions become easier to manage. Surrounding yourself with thoughtful influences can also support emotional discipline. Conversations with responsible individuals often provide perspective when emotions begin to rise. Trusted advisors or financially wise friends can offer calm guidance during uncertain moments. Technology can sometimes intensify impulsive behavior, especially through instant online purchases and constant exposure to advertising. Setting boundaries with technology can reduce these influences. Simple actions like removing saved payment information or limiting time spent browsing shopping platforms can prevent impulsive spending. Gratitude also plays a quiet but powerful role in emotional balance. When people appreciate what they already have, the constant urge for new possessions begins to fade. This mindset reduces the emotional pressure that drives unnecessary purchases. Financial security grows when decisions are guided by calm reasoning rather than momentary feelings. Emotional control creates space for thoughtful analysis and disciplined action. Each time an impulse is paused and examined, a stronger habit of responsible decision-making is formed. Imagine facing financial choices with clarity instead of emotional turbulence. Purchases become intentional. Investments are selected with patience and knowledge. Opportunities are evaluated carefully rather than rushed. This steady approach protects resources and builds confidence. Over the course of many years, the ability to control emotional reactions becomes one of the most valuable financial advantages a person can develop. Money responds well to calm minds and disciplined behavior. When emotions are managed wisely, financial decisions become more accurate, more strategic, and far more likely to support a stable and prosperous future. Chapter 9Z. Take responsibility for financial growth through constant learning. Financial growth rarely happens by accident. It usually begins the moment a person decides to accept full responsibility for their own progress. Many people spend years waiting for better circumstances, higher salaries, or favorable conditions before improving their financial situation. Others choose a different approach. They understand that long-term stability is built through personal effort, knowledge, and consistent learning. This decision to take ownership of financial development becomes a powerful turning point in life. Responsibility changes the way a person thinks about money. Instead of blaming economic conditions, employers, or background circumstances, responsible individuals focus on what they can control. They begin asking practical questions. What skills should I learn to increase my value? How can I manage my income more effectively? What knowledge will help me make better financial decisions in the future? These questions shift attention from frustration to growth. Once a person adopts this mindset, learning becomes a daily habit rather than an occasional activity. Financial understanding expands gradually through study, observation, and experience. Each new piece of knowledge strengthens the ability to make wiser decisions. Many people underestimate the importance of financial education. Schools often teach mathematics, science, and history, yet practical money management receives limited attention. As a result, countless adults enter the workforce without a clear understanding of budgeting, investing, or long-term financial planning. Accepting responsibility means recognizing this gap and choosing to fill it through self-education. Learning about money does not require advanced academic training. Valuable knowledge can be gained from books, lectures, interviews, and practical discussions with experienced individuals. The key is consistency. Small amounts of learning practiced regularly create powerful improvements over time. Reading is one of the most effective ways to expand financial understanding. Books written by experienced investors, entrepreneurs, and economists offer insights gathered through decades of real-world experience. These perspectives reveal how money flows through businesses, markets, and personal decisions. When someone reads with curiosity and patience, they begin to notice patterns. Successful financial thinkers often share similar principles. They emphasize discipline, long-term planning, careful risk management, and continuous education. These ideas appear repeatedly because they reflect proven realities of economic life. However, knowledge only becomes valuable when it influences behavior. Many people collect information without applying it. Real learning occurs when ideas are tested in daily decisions. A person who studies budgeting principles, for example, strengthens their understanding by actively managing expenses and savings. Constant learning also encourages adaptability. The financial world changes continuously. New technologies emerge, industries evolve, and economic conditions shift. Individuals who remain curious and open to learning can adjust their strategies as circumstances develop. Consider how technology has transformed many industries during the past decade. Digital platforms, online businesses, and remote work opportunities have created new forms of income. Individuals who stay informed about these developments are better positioned to recognize opportunities that others might overlook. Another advantage of continuous learning is improved confidence. Financial decisions often involve uncertainty, and uncertainty can create hesitation. Knowledge reduces this hesitation by providing a clear understanding of potential outcomes. When people understand the principles behind their choices, they feel more comfortable taking thoughtful action. Learning also helps individuals recognize misleading information. The modern world contains countless financial opinions, advertisements, and promises of quick wealth. Without education, it becomes difficult to distinguish genuine opportunities from risky speculation. Knowledge acts as a filter that protects people from poor decisions. Personal experience also contributes significantly to financial learning. Every decision provides feedback that can strengthen future judgment. When a strategy works well, it offers evidence of effective thinking. When results fall short, the experience provides lessons that guide improvement. Instead of viewing mistakes as failures, responsible learners treat them as educational moments. Each experience reveals something about timing, risk, or preparation. Over time, this collection of lessons builds practical wisdom that cannot be gained through theory alone. Another powerful learning method involves observing the habits of financially successful individuals. Paying attention to how experienced investors, entrepreneurs, and professionals approach money management can reveal useful strategies. Their discipline, patience, and focus often provide valuable examples. Listening carefully to these perspectives allows individuals to adopt principles that have already been tested in real situations. This approach saves years of trial and error. By learning from others, people can build on existing knowledge rather than starting from the beginning. Taking responsibility for financial growth also requires honest self-evaluation. At times, individuals must examine their current habits and acknowledge areas that need improvement. This process may feel uncomfortable, but it creates opportunities for meaningful change. For example, someone may discover that unnecessary spending is limiting their ability to save. Recognizing this pattern allows them to adjust behavior and redirect resources toward more productive goals. Honest reflection transforms awareness into progress. Curiosity plays an important role in this learning journey. Curious individuals naturally ask questions and seek deeper understanding. They explore how businesses operate, how investments generate returns, and how economic policies influence markets. This curiosity expands perspective. Financial growth is not only about earning money, but also about understanding the systems that shape economic opportunities. The more a person understands these systems, the more effectively they can navigate them. Consistency is another key factor in successful learning. Studying financial principles once or twice rarely produces lasting change. True understanding develops through regular engagement. Even a small daily commitment to reading, listening, or analyzing financial topics can create significant improvement over time. Imagine dedicating just 20 minutes each day to learning about money management, investment strategies, or economic trends. Over the course of a year, this habit accumulates more than 100 hours of focused education. Such consistent effort can transform financial thinking dramatically. Responsibility also involves sharing knowledge with others. Teaching or discussing financial ideas with friends, family members, or colleagues reinforces personal understanding. Explaining concepts requires clarity of thought and encourages deeper comprehension. Communities that exchange knowledge often create supportive environments for financial growth. Conversations about budgeting, saving, and investing encourage responsible behavior and inspire new ideas. Collective learning strengthens everyone involved. Patience remains essential throughout this process. Financial education develops gradually, and results may not appear immediately. However, each lesson contributes to a stronger foundation. Over time, these lessons influence decisions that shape long-term outcomes. The journey of financial learning never truly ends. Even experienced investors and entrepreneurs continue studying markets, technologies, and human behavior. Their curiosity keeps their strategies relevant and effective in changing conditions. Accepting responsibility for financial growth transforms the relationship a person has with money. Instead of feeling uncertain or overwhelmed, they begin to approach financial decisions with knowledge and confidence. Each new lesson expands their ability to manage resources wisely. Gradually, this continuous learning creates a powerful advantage. Decisions become more thoughtful. Opportunities become easier to recognize. Risks become easier to evaluate. The entire financial landscape begins to appear clearer and more manageable. Imagine looking back after several years of consistent learning. The knowledge accumulated during that time would influence every financial choice, from daily spending to long-term investments. This steady improvement builds momentum that strengthens financial security. Taking responsibility for financial growth is ultimately an act of personal leadership. It reflects a decision to guide one's life with knowledge rather than chance. Through curiosity, discipline, and constant learning, anyone can develop the understanding required to build a stable and prosperous financial future. Chapter 10. Commit to daily improvement that builds lasting wealth and freedom. True financial freedom is built not by luck or occasional effort, but by daily, deliberate action. Every day offers an opportunity to make small improvements that accumulate into significant progress over time. The individuals who achieve lasting wealth understand that consistent growth matters more than dramatic gestures or rare breakthroughs. Each choice, no matter how small, contributes to a larger pattern of success, and committing to daily improvement ensures that pattern continues to strengthen steadily. Daily improvement begins with mindset. A person dedicated to growth recognizes that their current situation is not fixed and that habits shape the trajectory of their life. Every day presents a chance to refine thinking, strengthen discipline, and act intentionally toward long-term objectives. This perspective transforms ordinary routines into opportunities for advancement. Simple decisions, how money is spent, how time is managed, how knowledge is gained, become tools for building wealth and freedom. One practical approach to daily improvement is setting specific, measurable goals for each day. These goals do not have to be enormous. They can include reviewing financial accounts, reading a chapter of a business book, or analyzing a potential investment. Completing these small tasks consistently compounds knowledge and capability. Success becomes a natural byproduct of steady, focused effort rather than an unpredictable stroke of luck. Discipline plays a central role in this process. Each day, there are choices between immediate gratification and long-term gain. Wealthy individuals prioritize the latter consistently. They resist impulses that provide short-term pleasure but undermine financial stability. Choosing delayed satisfaction requires awareness and control, and practicing this daily strengthens the habit over time. Daily improvement also involves skill development. The world changes constantly, and the ability to adapt and learn new skills determines long-term success. Each day, dedicate time to improving abilities that enhance income potential and personal value. These skills might include financial literacy, negotiation, communication, or technological proficiency. Incremental progress each day builds a foundation for opportunities that compound exponentially. Another essential component is reflection. Daily improvement is not only about action, but also about evaluating results. Taking time to assess what worked and what did not helps refine habits and strategies. Reflection allows a person to recognize patterns, identify areas for growth, and adjust plans accordingly. Without reflection, effort may be wasted on ineffective actions. Consistency in financial management is another form of daily improvement. Simple habits such as tracking expenses, saving a fixed percentage of income, and reviewing investment performance each day reinforce responsible money behavior. These habits ensure that wealth grows steadily rather than fluctuating unpredictably. They also develop the confidence to make larger decisions with clarity and control. Time management is crucial for maximizing daily improvement. The wealthiest individuals treat time as a finite and highly valuable resource. Each day is structured to prioritize high-impact activities while minimizing distractions. Evaluating daily schedules, eliminating low-value tasks, and focusing on meaningful actions ensures that every day contributes to long-term goals. Learning from others is another daily practice. Engaging with educational content, reading about successful people, or discussing ideas with knowledgeable individuals provides fresh perspectives. Each day, absorbing new insights enhances judgment and decision-making. Continuous learning prevents stagnation and equips a person to navigate challenges effectively. Daily improvement also requires emotional discipline. Financial growth is often hindered by impulsive decisions driven by fear, pride, or anxiety. Practicing patience and maintaining composure during market fluctuations or unexpected challenges ensures that actions remain rational and effective. Each day that emotional control is exercised strengthens resilience and improves long-term outcomes. Accountability reinforces daily improvement. Setting commitments and reviewing them each day builds personal responsibility. Tracking progress toward financial goals and holding oneself accountable ensures that efforts remain consistent. External accountability, such as mentors or peer groups, can further enhance discipline and motivation. Gratitude and perspective contribute to sustainable improvement. Each day, acknowledging what has been achieved and what resources are available cultivates a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. This mindset encourages calculated risk-taking, careful planning, and thoughtful investment rather than reactive or fear-driven decisions. Incremental improvement also includes cultivating networks. Daily interactions with peers, mentors, and professionals build relationships that provide guidance, opportunities, and support. Wealth is often facilitated by collaboration and trust, and consistent efforts to nurture relationships amplify potential for growth. Health and energy management are vital components of daily improvement. Physical well-being supports focus, decision-making, and the ability to seize opportunities. Each day habits such as exercise, proper nutrition, and sufficient rest contribute directly to sustained productivity and financial performance. Neglecting health undermines long-term capacity to build wealth. Daily improvement encourages adaptability. The financial environment and life circumstances are constantly changing. Each day presents an opportunity to reassess strategies, adjust priorities, and adopt new tools or approaches. Incremental adaptation prevents stagnation and ensures that progress continues even as conditions evolve. Routine review of personal finances is a practical daily habit. Examining budgets, assessing spending patterns, and updating financial plans ensures that resources are aligned with goals. Even small adjustments made consistently can have a significant long-term impact on wealth accumulation. Daily improvement also requires cultivating a sense of purpose. Understanding why financial growth matters, whether for freedom, security, family, or contribution, provides motivation to persist through challenges. Purpose fuels consistency and transforms effort from a mechanical activity into a meaningful practice. Each day, decisions can be directed toward long-term advantage. Whether it is choosing to save instead of spending, learning instead of procrastinating, or reflecting instead of reacting, every action contributes to the broader goal of financial independence. Wealth is the accumulation of countless small, deliberate decisions made consistently over time. Committing to daily improvement ultimately shifts identity. A person begins to see themselves not as someone who occasionally tries, but as someone who consistently grows, learns, and strengthens. This identity change influences behavior, reinforces discipline, and aligns actions with long-term objectives. Consistency also builds momentum. Each day of disciplined effort compounds previous progress. Habits, skills, knowledge, and relationships all accumulate. Over months and years, this compounding effect transforms potential into measurable outcomes, producing wealth and freedom that are difficult to achieve through sporadic effort. Daily improvement strengthens resilience. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but habitual practice builds the mental and emotional strength needed to persist. Each day, facing obstacles with discipline and patience reinforces the capacity to overcome future difficulties. The process also develops foresight. Regular engagement with financial planning, skill building, and reflection improves the ability to anticipate challenges and recognize opportunities. Over time, daily improvement sharpens judgment and enhances strategic thinking. Ultimately, committing to daily improvement transforms life. Wealth becomes a natural consequence of consistent effort, thoughtful decisions, and disciplined habits. Freedom grows from the ability to act intentionally rather than reactively. The individual who dedicates themselves to improvement each day cultivates control over circumstances, creates lasting security, and opens the door to opportunities that compound over time. This commitment is a lifelong endeavor. No single day guarantees wealth or freedom, but every day builds the foundation for them. Each morning offers a chance to act, each choice carries weight, and each reflection strengthens understanding. By approaching life with this mindset, financial growth, personal development, and freedom become the natural result of consistent daily action. The path of daily improvement is straightforward yet demanding. It requires patience, focus, discipline, and awareness. It requires resisting immediate impulses, seeking knowledge, managing emotions, and refining habits. Those who embrace this practice consistently find themselves increasingly capable, resilient, and empowered to make decisions that shape their future. Daily improvement is a promise to oneself to grow incrementally, wisely, and persistently. It is the accumulation of disciplined action, conscious reflection, and continuous learning. It creates the conditions for lasting wealth, meaningful freedom, and the ability to live life on one's own terms. Each day committed to progress strengthens the foundation upon which financial security and personal fulfillment are built, and over time, this consistent effort becomes the defining factor that separates temporary success from enduring achievement.